Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com. This is the chart. It's for a solar partial eclipse. The reason why it's partial is that this is the North Node here, not for abbreviation. It's at 5 degrees of Leo. And here the moon and the sun together at 18 degrees of Leo. So they're quite far apart, and that signifies that this eclipse is partial, not full on. What's important about this particular solar eclipse? It's the last in a row of three. We've already had 2 lunar eclipses, so we're in eclipse season. And eclipses signify change. They want us to kind of reboot our system. And if you've ever had a computer stuck, you know the way through is just to shut it down and start again. And that is very much the signature of these eclipses. Now Leo, that wonderful sign where the sun is strong, it's summertime in the northern hemisphere. It's about the queen or the king. It's about being warm-hearted and giving. It's a wonderful energy, Leo. And it is the lion. If you think about the lion or the pussycat, as a relative, they just need to be stroked. Leos are very easy as people go. All they need is stroking, and you can give them huge compliments and they'll just adore it. So that's my tip for if you have a Leo friend, or if you are a Leo, you need to be stroked. You need to be appreciated. Now, the middle of Leo is interesting because this was where the huge eclipse way back in August the 11th, 1999 occurred. Now, I'm old enough to remember it. It was a significant time in my life. And if you also remember it, look back, think what happened to you then? What changes did you make in your life? I started a study of Vedic astrology. I know other people might have got divorced or moved because it was a very significant time. And that eclipse in 1999 was, of course, visible in the UK. This one isn't. Don't get excited if you live in the UK like me. We won't be able to see it. But it's always a day, an eclipse, whether it's partial or solar, to reflect, to take time out, to be easy and sweet with yourself, not to push the boat out. That's important because here's Mars. Mars is retrograde. Good news, and I think most of us are looking forward to some good news. August is not an easy month. The good news is Mars goes direct, moves forward on the 27th of August. Depending on your time zone, it might be the 28th or 26th. But Mars is about drive. I always use my hand. You can't see me, but I always use my hand, my fist, go, let's get ahead. And because Mars is going retrograde, it is as if you are driving a car in reverse. On the 13th, i.e. 2 days after this new moon, which it is, of course, a new moon, Mars will be going backwards into the sign of Capricorn, a sign it really likes to be in. So if you need to reorganize anything to do with your life, this is a very, very good time up until the end of the month. Look at your structure. Look at filing systems and all sorts of things that make your life easier. Clear the decks. That's what eclipses like to do. The other planet that is of major concern for all Geminis and Virgos in particular is Mercury. Here's our friend Mercury. Tiny planet, but incredibly important. Mercury is all about communication. It too is retrograde. It moves forward, hooray, on the 19th of August. It's been quite a long retrograde cycle. It's about 24 days. That's a long time. And the fact of both Mercury and Mars being retrograde has increased the tension and stress levels for many people I know. Notice the blue lines. Notice Venus in particular. Here's Venus. This is set for the UK, this chart. Here's Venus in Libra. This is Venus's own sign. When a planet is in its own sign, it is at home. How do you feel when you're at home? You feel comfortable, hopefully. You feel at peace. You can give of your best. Venus, now in Libra, in this chart, has just formed a very good liaison with Mars. However, it's moving ahead and Mars is going backwards. So that also is about relationships between the sexes. And it's a positive one. The other very positive connection in this chart, and it's ongoing, but it's Jupiter and Neptune. And they are offering a huge amount of optimism and healing and recognizing that whatever's going on in your life, you're not alone. Jupiter protects. It actually protects this earth of ours. So I want you to always notice Jupiter and go, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. There's tension. All the red lines indicate tension, but also challenge us to change. That's the nature of these dynamic, and they are dynamic, squares or oppositions. That's what they're called in astrology. 90-degree angle. So if you can't see your way through at this time, very much about being patient. Things are very much going to develop as soon as these two very important planets, Mercury and Mars, start going forward again. The other indication of Venus here is Venus is also opposite Chiron, the archetype of healing, the wounded healer. Plus, I'm giving a webinar next week, if you haven't signed up already. It's on the 14th of August. And what happens on that particular day is that the moon will have travelled and actually joined Venus. And this is a very symbolic time to connect with your divine inspiration. It's shamanic astrology, and it's all to do with the chakras, and it's the third eye opening. And that third eye is where you have vision, where you can plan your future with a higher purpose. So if you haven't already signed up, please go to my website, healingstars.com, and please sign up for that. A day of contemplation, which is a Saturday, of course. It's the day often when we aren't working, we are actually taking time out. So I advise that to take some time in the day to be still and reflect and be grateful for everything in your life that brings you joy, brings you happiness, and especially your friends, your relationships. Thank you for watching. Carruthers, healingstars.com.